Welcome to The Healing Equation. I'm Grace, the founder of Agora Health.
And my name is Jasmine, founder of Body in the City.
In this series, we explore women's health, well-being and healing in the modern world, speaking to experts, innovators and advocates in the space to help you along your wellness journey.
So take a seat, get comfy, and join us for another empowering episode. Our guest this week is one of the UK's most celebrated singer-songwriters and performers with a career that spanned over a decade. She's given us timeless anthems like Next to Me and Read All About It, sold millions of records worldwide, and collected multiple Brit Awards, an MBE, and an Ivor Novello for her songwriting. But beyond the accolades, her music has always carried a deeper thread. Songs about identity, resilience, heartbreak, healing, and hope that have resonated with listeners around the globe. She's also spoken openly about her own journey through love, heartbreak, self-discovery, and reconnection to her roots, reminding us that the most powerful art often comes from the most human experiences. Her voice has not only defined an era of British music, but continues to inspire courage, compassion, and joy in those who listen. We are honoured to welcome with us today, Emeli Sandé. Hi.
Hi, thank you so much.
How are you doing today?
I'm really well, thank you. How are you?
Welcome to Healing Equation.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Our absolute pleasure.
We are absolutely thrilled to have you. We've been waiting for this episode for a while.
Yeah,
as you
lots
know.
of questions.
And we've got lots of questions. I know we've been doing a lot off camera, but we just want to start by just talking about you, your journey. Tell me a little bit about your heritage. Let's start there.
Okay, well, I was born in England, in Sunderland. My father is Zambian, and my mother is from the Lake District, Cumbria.
Beautiful.
So, and I grew up in Scotland. So I feel like a bit of a mosaic.
Yeah.
And yeah, I loved growing up with parents from different sides of the world.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of made everything in my head possible.
Yeah.
I thought if these two people from across the globe can find each other, fall in love against all odds, fight for their love, and I'm born out of that, it kind of from the beginning set the bar for life and risk and love and passion like up there.
Yeah.
I love that. And growing up in Scotland, how many Black people were there where you grew up?
Where we grew up, we were the only ones representing. It was me, my sister, my dad. And because my sister's 2 years younger than I was, so like I was, at one point I was the only Black girl in the whole high school.
Wow.
With my dad as a teacher. So it was quite a unique experience for sure. The like nearest city, Aberdeen, when we got old enough to go clubbing and all that type of stuff, there were a lot of students from like Nigeria, some from Zambia, Angola. So that's where we kind of found more of a community and people that were kind of more into the same style of music. Not necessarily that they were African, but just there's more of a community there.
More diverse.
Yeah. But that wasn't until we were about like 16, 17. So from like 4 till 16, we were out there.
That's crazy. And how did your passion and love for music arise? Was that something that your family had, that you grew up with music, or was it just very personal to you?
I think it was a mix of both. I mean, both my parents are really big music lovers, and music was always held like with a real high importance. Like my dad always made sure he had the best speakers at the time, or whatever we listened music through had to be high quality as respect for the music.
Yes.
So he only played me the legends. Like anyone he played me back then was a really important artist. So there was Bob Marley, Nina Simone, Mariah Carey, Anita Baker, B.B. King. It was just, I'm so grateful my parents had good music taste. You know what I mean? Like I'm so lucky. So my dad was playing all of this music, and then around the age of 6, 7, I was like hooked. I was like, that's it. I want to sing. I love this. I don't know what it's doing inside my body, but I just love hearing music. I love harmonies.
Yeah.
They were like my thrill as a 4-year-old. I was like, what are they doing? And I just thought it was all fascinating. I loved thinking about how something was recorded. I always thought like when you put the tape back in, the band had to get together, retune their instruments, and like go again. I just thought it was fascinating.
Do you remember your first like solo performance as a child?
on stage?
Yeah.
When I was about, I must have been like 9, 10, I was Mary for the Christmas nativity play. And I remember like because they all knew I liked singing, but I guess I lacked the confidence to go up there and stand up.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the teachers being she's like, who could do the solo? And I didn't put my hand up. And she was like, come on, Adele, it's no time to be modest. That's it. So that was the first time. And I sang with this guy, Johnny Gibb. He was Joseph. And we're talking about like, why have I been chosen to do this job? And it was a beautiful song, but me and my friends still laugh about it.
Oh, I love
It's got to be
that.
recorded somewhere. Someone has it.
God,
on
my
their
dad
very
has it all.
old VCR somewhere. So your music has always carried themes of, say, like hope, resilience, joy, healing. Looking back, what role has music played in your own personal healing?
A real profound role. I mean, I think from the very beginning, it was definitely very isolating, kind of being the odd one out in pretty much everything. So, there were times where I felt very lonely growing up, and music was always this constant companion. I didn't really feel alone. When I could go back home and just make music, it was a joy. I didn't feel like I was lacking anything. And then I think just through the process, like the physicality of singing, that is actually healing. It's a big release. It's a big like cleanse. It's almost like, when you go to church and after you just feel like, like you're ready for the week ahead. And I think singing, if you like really sing, whether or not you're hitting the notes or not, when you sing those big songs, it's like afterwards you feel like you've let something go. And we don't often get the chance to make a lot of noise, especially as women. I think we're demure and quiet and all of the rest. And you can put so much emotions through singing, anger, pain, like desperation. You just like get it out. So singing on so many levels has been healing through my life. Yeah.
I love that. And one of the questions I wanted to ask you before, obviously through the songwriting process, which I'm sure is quite cathartic and healing in itself. But how can you balance like writing about experiences that are real life experiences whilst not making it obvious like who they're about? Because I always wondered, like, if I wrote a song about an experience without directly wanting the person to know, it must be like you have to find that fine line between giving some of yourself to your fans and to people and listeners, but also keeping your private life private. So how do you kind of navigate that?
It's difficult because there is that battle within, like, if you really want to make true art or if you really want to be honest, like, say what's on your mind. But then equally, I do think you have to distinguish between what's your catharsis, what is something you want to share, like, why do you want to be on a platform and share music? It's difficult because sometimes you do just want to like say it all. But then I think you have a responsibility. And, I've chosen to do this. I've chosen to put my life out here and put my heart out there. Other people around me haven't made that decision. So I think you have to respect that. And also I think, I feel so lucky to be able to make music, and you can't just use it. You have to make sure your ego's not getting in the way.
Absolutely.
You have to be like, I've been given this amazing gift, like, let's use it for its highest purpose, not like you getting some stuff off your chest or like indirect on the radio. But there has to be truth in what you're saying, and I don't think you can censor yourself too much, especially in this day and age where we're more and more honest with one another. There has to be an element of honesty, but I think you just have to keep it classy.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd manage that.
You spoke about honesty in your music, honesty in your writing. I imagine like over the decades you've been in the industry now, there must have been opportunities like people trying to influence you to do something that didn't feel authentic, like wasn't quite you, wasn't in tune or aligned with your belief system or what you wanted to share. A, has that happened to you? And B, how did you navigate that?
Yeah, it does happen. I mean, as soon as you get into the bigger corporation of the music industry, there are going to be inevitable compromises you may have to make. But I think my whole perspective of like success has changed. There's certain things that you feel you know, sometimes the label's like, well, this is coming around to Christmas and it'd be great to do this and da-da-da. And it doesn't necessarily feel my soul's telling me this is the right thing to do right now, but it's a nice song or whatever. Like it's, you know, what's the harm?
Yeah.
But that's, I think, when you're trying to play that game. And I think, like, let's say my early 20s, I was like, yeah, how do we win? How do we do this? Whereas now, you know, the music is number one. And I think these days I make less and less compromises with the music because for me, the times I felt most successful is when I really feel what I've produced has been the most pure, has been me being, what's the word? The most intentional about what I was putting out. Yeah. And when it gets finally to a point where it's released and received as you intended, that's like pure success. Whether a lot of people listen or not, it's that connection. So these days, I'm not that interested in playing the game per se. I just kind of, I want to do it the other way around.
Stay true to yourself.
Exactly.
What you want. Well, I love this. And when you're writing, how much comes across, I think you already asked this, but like from lived experience, other people's experience, do you draw inspiration just from the world, the current state of the world? Do you draw inspiration from friends, from family in your writing process?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, sometimes it's like unconsciously as well because I'm quite a sensitive person. So when I meet people, like you're kind of absorbing their energy, you're hearing their stories. And, you know, that's all doing something within you. Like it's inspiring you one way or another. So, and especially people I'm close to where I know like the full story and like we've gone deep. Those things inevitably will start influencing writing. But I think the songs that like come from me and come from something that's very like an acute, real intense emotion, those are the ones that kind of stay with me for a long time.
And so your journey, I mean, I was like, I can't even remember how old I was probably when like your first song came out, but I was a teenager. You kind of shot to fame because I just remember you were huge overnight and like we all listened to your music. And I think it was fantastic for multiple reasons. Firstly, I mean, for me growing up in the UK, having somebody that looked like me be successful in that space was incredibly important, and somebody that wasn't like a showgirl, but actually for talent and raw talent was amazing. How did you handle that kind of overnight success? And I think you're such a big kind of powerhouse name as a female singer in the UK, because it must be quite overwhelming. I couldn't imagine that level of like scrutiny and all eyes on you just happen.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot because on one hand, you're just like, there's this internal celebration because it seemed like an overnight success, but it was like 10 years in the making. And, you know, there's lots of people you want to prove wrong and it finally happened and da-da-da-da. So there is this happiness and joy and gratitude that, you know, something that you dreamt actually came true. But yeah, it's a very different lifestyle, you know, and on stage, I love being on stage and I feel very confident. I guess it's a different persona, but off stage, I'm very shy, you know, so it's kind of weird getting used to your normal level of shyness. On top of that, like, are people, what should I be doing? And what am I wearing? All of like, am I living up to what people expect from this brand essentially? Because the music's me, but everything built around it is kind of constructed in a way. You know, I don't look like I look on the front of the album cover. Is that disappointing to people? Like, is it all of these things? So I think it was just a lot of thoughts, like overthinking everything. And I kind of lost the natural ability just to be me and to kind of find which one are you, the stage you or the off stage you? Is there somewhere in the middle you need to find? But it was, the beautiful thing was because the music was helping people in a way and connecting on such a deep level, when people did come and talk to me, it was like straight away deep conversations. And I love that we could get rid of all the like small talk. And they'd be like, this song helped me with this. I'm like, wow, tell me about it. So you kind of get to know people a lot better through the music, which is awesome.
And much of your music has been described as, like you said, deeply personal, touches, resonates with just complete strangers on the street. What have been the life experiences or turning points that most shaped your most recent work?
As in the stuff I'm making now? I feel like, and this is going to sound corny, but like, I feel like this is my woman era. Like, I do feel a lot of, it was like arrested development at a certain point, because when I first, moved to London, it was straight from university.
Okay.
And, I came straight here, and then it was just like, right, I got a year to try and make this happen. And it's just like work.
Yeah.
So, and then by the time I was 24, 25, like all of this massive fame had happened. Then you're trying to catch up with yourself. So I feel like it was a lot of the growing up that's supposed to happen in that time.
Yeah.
Although my work, I was developing and maturing work-wise, I feel like there's a lot of personal stuff that I was either crash coursing or delaying or pausing, so all of that type of stuff. So I feel like now I've finally had the time to like slow down, learn some stuff, reflect, get to know myself without everyone around to tell you who you are. And I feel like a woman.
I love that.
Woman era. Hashtag woman era. I love it.
Yeah, the woman era. So I think it's a lot of, like the first album, there was so much kind of adolescence that went into that and learning. And this new music feels quite similar. Like a lot of stories, a lot of growing and hopefully wisdom.
Oh, I love that. Is it going to make me cry a little bit less?
It's good.
She hopes it does.
A bit of dusting and hoovering.
She's going to be hooving violently.
Just for context, this is because I was telling Emeli that I love to listen to her music when I'm having a bit of a crying session, and I particularly love to hoover whilst I have my crying sessions. So yes, but maybe it'll be a little bit more fun and light. But I love that. I still love a good deep song.
We know.
Yeah.
We know.
Maybe for the ironing, it would be like not as
ironing.
sad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll find a new, not hoovering, ironing or dusting, something a little.
Come and
Okay.
dust my house. It's all good.
I'll come and hoover
I know.
too. Yeah.
So speaking about just intensity and crying and overall well-being, let's take it that way.
Yeah.
What did your well-being look like in that early stage of stardom? Because I imagine, just based on what you're saying about having like arrested development, etc., that it sounds, and I could be wrong, that there was an element of well-being missing then, and self-care. Like, do you remember what you was doing for self-care at the time, and or what you were missing at that time?
Yeah, I guess, everything was just like hype. Everything was, and I think I've been that way from a kid, like I'm super energetic, and I've always wanted to, like, if we're going to do something, let's do like to 100. And then everything's been like 100, and then you get the dip in this. And I guess I treated like the music the same. It's like, let's go, 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 go. And like, there's no breaks. I didn't care about like that maintenance. And I guess I always saw like addressing mental health as something that is optional. You know what I mean? You kind of like the gym. Like you fit it in if you can. At the end of the day, by that time you're so tired you don't even look at it.
And realize.
And then this tension builds up and up and up. And then you might neglect it for months and months. And then suddenly you have a crash out or you disappear, And I think, these days I realize it has to be, you cannot escape it. It's your own mind, which influences every decision, every interaction. Like you have to address it and check where you are. Like just be like, how do you feel today? Just one question
Literally,
can like really sort stuff out. So these days I, try to put it in my daily practice and it just keeps things a lot more level.
Good. What is your self-care thing today? Like, what's your morning ritual? Not 15 steps, mind you. Just a normal human level morning ritual.
I do try to meditate. And I will admit, like, I'm not as regular. I need to because I feel amazing. And I don't know why I don't do it every day. Like, when I do, I'm like, I feel great. And the day goes amazing. So meditation and I'm trying just to, like, exercise more. Because I feel like it gives more energy and de-stresses as well.
Oxytocin release.
Exactly.
Yes. I love that. And so I guess also speaking a little bit about obviously being mixed heritage, growing up in Scotland, not really having, I kind of had a similar-ish experience growing up in London, but in a very Caucasian neighborhood. You see celebrities or like other people externally in positions that look like you, but you don't see people day to day in kind of normal jobs that look like you. And it can be quite hard for your identity to suss out who you are. And I think for a lot of mixed people that have been born in the UK and our parents maybe weren't, we're British, but we're also kind of defining what British is to us. So how did you find that journey? And then also being in the public eye, did you ever feel that that was something that was useful to you in your music and connecting with people? Or did you feel sometimes it was also quite difficult being a woman of colour and navigating that kind of mixed heritage, balancing your family, your friends, and like expectations of other people?
Yeah, I mean, it is a unique experience, actually. And I was thinking about this recently. You know, for most of my childhood and most of my life up until the first time I went to Zambia, which I was 24.
Wow.
You know, I'd only known my mum's side of the family.
Okay, yeah.
And so I felt at home in like a North England working class environment. I was like, I feel at home. Yeah, I'm the odd one out. I'm the black sheep for sure.
Yeah.
But like, this is what I know.
Yes.
So you have this side of me, like there's this one side of me that's so proud to be British. And then you have this other side where it's like, am I allowed to be British? Like, am I accepted? Am I still being tolerated?
Yeah.
Because whichever way you look at it, I'm a black woman.
Yeah.
You know, I'm never going to be mistaken for a white woman.
Yes.
So, you know, that's the way I identify myself. But then I'll go to Zambia. And then they're looking at me like,
Yeah.
you know nothing of our culture.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, you don't know the language.
Yeah.
You don't, like, where are your kids? Like, all of this stuff. So it's... it's a difficult one to get right. And I think, again, you know, just as I kind of went from one extreme to another, it's like I've grown up in this, you know, completely white environment, which wasn't, you know, that was something that my parents decided for me.
Yeah.
And then at 24, I went through a real phase of like, I need to get to know the other side of me. I need to know how my mind has been shaped. I need to know, like, this relationship with myself is so influenced by racism I might have experienced and all of these different things. So you go to the whole other side and then it's like, how do you find that place in the middle?
Yeah.
Because it almost feels like you're not allowed to be there either.
Yes.
So it's like, where am I allowed to
do I
be?
belong?
Yeah.
But now I'm at the point where I'm like, I need to stop asking permission. You know, I can't keep asking permission. Am I allowed to be British? Am I allowed to be Zambian? Am I allowed to be mixed race? Am I allowed to be black? Like, so I'm just starting to really, you know, my experience is going to be unique to me. But you're right. I think it's so important for people to talk because you do feel like you need to label yourself in one thing and you just can't. You know, it's impossible.
Yeah. No, I totally feel you with that because being mixed, I'm Italian, Jamaican heritage but British, but I'm not British because British people always see me as a black woman. I'm not Italian because Italians will always see me as a black woman. When I go to Jamaica, they call me fair skin. So you're always in this like middle ground of like, okay, well, I'm everything, but also kind of nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like we're redefining that identity. But I also think it is important to talk about things like that because I think identity defines so much of who we are. It impacts our careers. It impacts our love life, our relationships. And I think sometimes we are too quick, as you said, to kind of box people in and not really look at all those different shades of grey where sometimes identity can be, but it's really important to explore that. And I think music is a big part of that because I'm like you, I went to Jamaica for the first time in 2018, so I was older, but I like connected, I would say, more with my black side through music.
Yes.
So that was my kind of notion and knowledge of black culture was primarily through music, through food, through tangible experiences that I could listen to and have. It wasn't necessarily through family or seeing people that looked like me because nobody looked like me, but I could listen to music and it just did something. You just know, don't you?
Yeah.
So,
and it's so interesting what you said there about like also you're like you feel like everything and nothing.
Yeah.
And it's a weird space but it is quite liberating as well.
Yeah.
And like you're asking there about, I definitely feel it's helped me connect with so many different walks of life.
I can imagine,
because from like a kid, race has just never been an issue. You know what I mean? Like we've got mum and dad and, you know, that's that. They're in love. So I think I really feel like I can connect with anyone. Like, because like you just, the spectrum's so large.
Yeah.
You know, it just kind of, I wish, you know, silly statement, but like I wish racism just didn't exist because like it's so easy for us to connect.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Tell me what Zambia was like. I'm intrigued.
It was beautiful. It was very potent. Like everything was so much bigger than I've experienced. I remember the night we got there, the moon was just like taking up half of the sky. I was like, is this the same planet? The moon was so big, the people so beautiful, and even though there was that language barrier, there's so much love. And I think you get used to kind of British ways. We're quite reserved and we're a little bit shy. Whereas over there, it was just like full embrace. And I love the strength, you know, it made a lot of things make sense for me. The singing, especially, like this obsession with music and wanting to express myself through it. All my family are singers, like beautiful voices, beautiful harmonies. I was like, oh, okay. I'm not, it's not just this random girl in Scotland like, singing her heart out. So yeah, it was. And you know what? Seeing my dad in his native country, that was a real big shift in our relationship because up until then, I hadn't really taken into consideration he's you know, he's a complete foreigner in this land fighting. You know what I mean? He's just fighting for respect, fighting for, you know, for us to have a better life. So to see him like sit and talk with his mum and speak in his native tongue, I was like, okay, right. Wow.
That must have given you so much inspiration coming home to write music. Just down to that interaction with dad and your grandmother. The sounds, the music, the fabrics, the smells, the people. So,
and the looseness of it all. I think, you know, especially over here, you get into these rigid, if you look at like classical music or Western music, it's in with certain grids. Whereas in Africa, well, in Zambia, it just felt like hearing the harmonies, like outside any grid I've ever heard, it just like cracked open this rigid code. And I was like, life flows, man. You gotta let it flow.
Oh man, so we've spoken a lot about stepping outside and inside of yourself to kind of embrace your authentic you. I mean, you've answered this question multiple times, but music has obviously shaped you, like personally, mentally. What advice would you give to young Emeli, who's like just starting out in her career, who maybe doesn't necessarily know what direction her music will take or what genre that might look like? What advice would you give to younger you?
I don't know. I wouldn't want to like make her start double, you know, like second thinking anything. Because I think when I look back, that's what, you know, when you're young, you're just like out there. You're like, I know what I'm doing. Even if you have no clue. There's kind of like this audacity you have and you kind of need it. And I like that I was able to kind of find my path, you know, whether I was listening to gospel or neo soul or classical, like anything goes. But I would say to her, like, find where you can focus and find where you can relax. Like, be around people you can trust. That's where you're going to bring out the best in yourself.
Important,
and kind of don't get lured in by the lights.
Stay away from the lights.
Just keep your head down.
And in terms of projects now, I know we spoke briefly before, you got some projects and you're looking for inspiration, you're in your little cocoon, in your bubble. What is your muse? What inspires you? What do you need to get into your zone?
Man, I mean, life, you know, life happening, like every day something different happens or something to kind of push you out of your normal thinking. Beauty, the beauty of life, people, I don't know. I just like emotion. I've got a lot of emotions, so they're kind of like overflowing. So naturally, I just want to put it into music.
That's incredible. And you play piano? Anything else?
I'm not even going to say I play it. I get by on guitar. Like,
okay.
I can write a song on guitar, but
she was good behind the guitar.
You don't want me to play on stage.
Man, I wish I could play the guitar. I did one lesson. Did I do a lesson with you, Daryl? Don't remember. like about 10 years ago. And I wouldn't know where to start. So I have a high respect for you and anyone who plays any form of instrument.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Even just, I think the songwriting process in itself to me is like, what do you get first? Lyrics or like harmonies? Like in your mind, do you sometimes hear something and you think, okay, then I'll find words to that? Or do you maybe write something down and then you go, okay, this is a song?
Well, like the way I've always usually done it is the music comes first, the chord, you try to get different structures, and usually like the top line melody will come at the same time, and then you'll get onto the words.
Yeah.
But like often then you get so much music and like one or two words like dotted around. So I'm trying to force myself to do the other way around now. Like write a poem.
Yep.
And we'll fit the music. We'll fit some of this music to it, you know? Just because I think words, like that's where the real focus is.
Yeah.
Because, you know, with songwriting, songs are evolving, you know? So your life is evolving, but then also how people are listening to music is evolving. So it's like trying to keep up with both of those aspects.
Yeah.
Things like, I'm assuming, like touring, just being on the road constantly can be, I'm guessing, physically draining, exhausting and tiring.
Yeah.
How do you find your well-being? How do you find your peace? Have you ever had to be like, you know what? Like, I'm tired. I need to sleep this one out. Like, how do you find that balance when you're touring? I always hear so many different stories about touring.
I mean, it's been a long time since I've done like a 20, 30 show tour.
Rough.
Yeah.
Just the sound of it sounds intense.
So I'm kind of like building up my stamina again.
Yeah.
You have to like, once we did a tour and I had my vocal coach there with me, every morning she was giving us vitamin C, vitamin D, warm-ups like twice a day. Like it's a lot of work to put in, but it means you stay healthy throughout the tour.
Yeah.
'Cause if you lose your voice,
that's it.
Game over.
Yeah.
So that, but also I have a fantastic team. Like it's so important for me that the vibe, there's respect, there's a genuine care for one another. So I felt really lucky that we have that team in place and everyone's sensitive to not burning out.
Yeah. Now more than ever, I feel like people focus more on like I said, the mental health and the physical well-being, whereas I mean, you go back to the 80s, you just look at the stars from the 80s and there was cracking the whip and they weren't getting no breaks. It was like get to the end of that tour and then you can sleep.
It's crazy. And it's getting the balance. Like when I look pre-COVID, we were like, it was normal. Like it was just like go, 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 go. And I think having that break was good. But getting your energy back up to that level is a process. So I'm hoping to go on tour like next year. So I'm hoping by then I'll be like
ready.
Fine, fit.
Lots of vitamin C, lots of vitamin D.
I can imagine. And I think, I mean, obviously also touring and that kind of lifestyle can be probably quite difficult to have like a normal life in terms of like a normal schedule. Like you can't just do normal things because your whole year is essentially based around the tour and everything that you're doing. So how do you juggle still having a personal life, friends, your family, and like all the relationships you need, but also obviously managing work? Because it must be a really difficult, and you can't give all of yourself just to your work because you still need like your core group of people, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a lot better at scheduling because I started to realize, gosh, I've been a really like crappy friend. Like, you know what I mean? Like I've got some great friends from school and they're always putting in effort and, you know, organizing holidays. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, sorry, I've got this, I've got that. And, you know, they're just as busy as me. Like they're doctors and ophthalmologists and all this type of stuff. So trying to be a lot better at scheduling and also scheduling in rest. Like if you've come off a lot of shows, even one show, you're giving out so much energy. And sometimes I get back and I'd like crash. You wouldn't know what's going on because like you're elated 2 days after the show because it went well. So I think you just need those days and not to feel guilty if you just want to sit and watch some like, you know, crap on the TV. And then scheduling time. I mean, that's the thing with writing music, though. You could schedule it in every single day. And there is always that guilt of, I haven't done anything today. Like, I could have been the best song I've ever written if I wasn't, you know what I mean, watching BoJack Horseman. So I think it's just actually scheduling like those 3 days you're going to write and just being realistic about what you actually need.
I like that. I'm a schedule person. I like schedules.
We know.
Jasmine isn't.
I am a schedule person and I'm like very organized. But
less than me.
I don't mind admitting that. She schedules time in to cry. I don't need to do that.
It's important. And I streamed loads of Emeli's songs to do that. So I feel like, you know, I'm buying albums to cry.
Oh dear. I mean, pretty much touched on everything we needed to touch on today. And it's been an absolute pleasure just speaking with you, and just seeing this amazing side to you that I feel like it just feels like super secretive, and like we just love it that we feel honoured to kind of interview you and listen about your music and your journey. And obviously there's a lot brewing and we're really excited.
Thank you. My ironing days are upon me.
Yeah, her hoovering days are upon her. The launch parties are coming. We're really excited. So yeah, no, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. That was really fun.
Amazing. Where can people find you now? What can they look out for? What projects do you have that you want to share?
I mean, I'm on the social media platform, just Emeli Sandé, weird spelling, Emeli, and album next year. That's what I'm working on, and hopefully a tour next year. And yeah, who knows?
If you want to write a song about me, I would.
Please don't.
Why? I would love that.
Call it Dyson.
I mean, yeah. Like Hoover, you know? Yeah. There's got to be other women that do this. I can't be the only one that cleans the house and uses cleaning as a crime session.
I mean, it makes sense, but almost it's kind of worrying.
I'm going to find, there's got to be other people
to check on you more.
I'm going to find my tribe.
You could just sit down and cry.
Like, yeah, why do you need a whole commotion to do it?
But maybe it drowns out the noise.
Her own noise?
Like the
vacuum. I have like headphones on in the vacuum. I don't know, because then I feel like I'm doing something and I'm not just sat around moping. Like then afterwards you think, oh, the house is really clean.
Yeah, true.
I look a bit puffy, but it's all right. You know, at least the house is clean and now I feel better. And I don't know, it helps.
I'm going to come to your house and never look at your carpet the same way. We're looking at the carpet like this damn carpet.
Wooden floor.
The tears
polish it.
Yeah.
Shiny my crying tears mop the floor.
Every guest we have on the show so far, we've asked them, what is their healing equation? You can take some time to think about it.
Okay.
But yeah, what is your healing equation? What does that look like to you?
Sorry, as in like...
So Grace can explain more.
I guess the healing equation is what are some things that for you are healing that helps in your wellness and well-being. That could be practices, it could be things that you do, personality traits, but things that as a woman have helped you in your kind of well-being journey.
Okay.
So even that was really in tune. I can't even hum in tune.
Perfect pitch.
Meditation for sure.
Yeah.
Classical music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
A lot of emotions you can put out through that. Exercise.
Yeah.
That helps. Spending time with yourself. You know,
Okay.
I think sometimes we forget to like actually check in with ourselves and we like fear being lonely or being by ourselves. But if you don't, you're never going to know what you want, what you like, how you feel. Sometimes you just got to have those long conversations with yourself and like iron some shit out.
Yeah.
So I think time alone is important.
I love that. I'm big on alone time.
Yes.
Yes. I love being alone. In fact, I prefer being alone than being in a crowd.
She hates being here.
No. I mean, like big crowds. I find it like, honestly, like when you were talking about like concerts and stuff as well, I was like, that must be so exhausting because just looking at a crowd.
You don't even see them, hardly do you? You don't really
I would
see
just find
every
it
individual person.
No, but just the energy that it takes for you to deliver to all of those people. And then just the environment must be like, do you even sleep after a show? Or are you just
It's
like
hard.
on edge?
Yeah.
It's
Adrenaline
hard
high.
because it's such an electric buzz.
Yeah.
And I think you have to remember to like bring yourself down a little bit. But at the same time, you want to enjoy it. Like that was a big event.
Yeah.
And so much energy was shared. But yeah, you do have to like
rein it in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fade yourself down.
Lots of chamomile tea. Yeah. Honestly, I think you have a very calming voice. And I don't know if you've ever considered this, but if you were to do some kind of meditation app, I would listen to you.
Okay.
Don't you
That's a
think
really
she's
good
got a very,
shout.
I've just found your next career move.
Literally. What's the app called?
I don't know.
One of
I'm
them,
taking a
Calm or
percentage.
something.
Yes.
Or you can like read books, read
Yes.
stories.
Or just like make one up. Yeah.
Make it up.
Yeah, well, if you're writing poems to get to music, but you might not use all of them, you might have a few good poems in there that you could do.
Could do. I used to tell my sister, so that's what we used to do when we were kids. We're on bunk beds. I just tell her these epic, improvised stories. So I can do that.
Oh yeah, to see BBs. Yeah, see, so they know it.
I'm gonna watch
something.
I'm gonna watch CB. Yeah, because I was just listening to you. I find it so calming.
Yeah,
thank
you.
you.
Do a very calming aura, very softly spoken, unlike Grace.
Thank you.
Love you.
It's been such a pleasure, and we can't wait to hear what you are coming out with.
Thank you.
I will come on tour with you. Thank you for offering, and I can't wait to hear my song. Dyson 2026.
If you liked today's episode, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Until next time.